Welcome to Secure Mentorship, where lives are transformed, where purpose is discovered, where confidence is restored. This is where we flourish, a blend of science and faith. Some were searching for their place. Some were hiding pain behind a smile. Some had dreams but lacked the strength to believe they could go the extra mile. Then hope opened up a brand new door, a family that believes in something more. One step at a time, hearts began to see the person they were created to be. This is more than inspiration, more than just another conversation. It's a journey of transformation.
And this is where we flourish. This is where we flourish, guys. You like our theme song? I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I love our Wednesday live conversations because indeed these are not just conversations, this is literally where transformation begins. And this particular topic is too important for you to not share with somebody. Take it from me. This is too important for you to not share with somebody. I was just sharing with the Flourishers, and that's members of the Flourish Code. And if you don't know what the Flourish Code is, why? Like, where have you been? Where have you been? Stick around, you're going to find out. And I was sharing with them that if you see a young woman who is struggling with her self esteem and confidence, there is almost always a father wound attached. It's so rare for that combination to not exist. It's really, really rare. So you see those your sisters, your friends, your nieces, share the link with them. Share the link with them. This might just be the start of somebody's healing journey. That's if you're not in the flourish code, because my flourishers listening to this, and if you're a flourisher, let me see. Put it in the comment section that I am a flourisher. Because the flourishers are getting this when I'm speaking, when I'm sharing on these Wednesday lives, they understand it at a deeper level that you who is not in the flourish code might not get. But listen, if there's ever a place to start your healing journey, it's with this conversation. It will shed so much light, it will give you so many aha moments, it will illuminate so much for you. It will illuminate so much for you. So please, please stop paying that price of low esteem, low confidence, unresolved issues, trust issues, and pain, emotional hurt. Start your journey today, okay? Let's take 5 seconds and share this with somebody. Yes, Flourish, share this with your cohort members. Why is the flourisher not here? Why is the flourisher not attending this live? It doesn't make sense. Please share this with your cohort members. Please share this with your friends and family. Share this with anybody who is struggling with their self-esteem, who's struggling with their confidence, their uniqueness, their self-perception, emotional wounds, childhood trauma. Let's start the conversation. Let's start the change. Let's be the agents. Let's stop complaining about this and that and start being the agents of change. It's as simple as sharing this with somebody. So take a few seconds to share this with somebody.
Meet Dr. Mrs. Daniela Kemta, a medical doctor, founder of Secure Mentorship, mental health coach with over 5 years of experience. Let's walk you through and show some of the amazing reads authored by Dr. Daniela herself. Do you want to discover how focus discovery is a powerful tool in your confidence and self-esteem journey? Then you should read No Clarity, No Confidence. Are you looking forward to a mindset reform that addresses these mental health issues and still provides scripturally rooted and psychological facts? Diary of a Secure Girl is your go-to guide. Has your identity you be wounded by systems and structures, some of which you can't name, and you need healing. Healing from your identity wound is perfect for you. Looking forward to a piece of godly romance and a guide to help you prepare for marriage. Letters to Heaven is your go-to guide. Thank you and see you later.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Are we ready? Because I'm going to give it to you guys back to back, pass both. I don't care who is listening to me right now because I'm gonna call it what it is. 5 signs you're still carrying your father wound without knowing it. 5 signs you're still carrying your father wound without knowing it. Are you in the comment section? Let me see you in the comments. Send me your favorite emoji. So, there is a wound that shapes almost everything about you. It shapes who you trust. It shapes how you love. It shapes how you lead. It even shapes how you argue. And as I mentioned before, it shapes how you bring yourself into the world, how you show up in the world, your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-perception. And most people, you see, especially in our African context, especially in African culture, most people are carrying this particular wound, and they are totally unaware. They have never connected, they have never made the connection between their self-esteem and this particular wound. It's not just depression, it's not trust issues, it's not I'm not just a guarded person. I don't trust people easily. This world is such a bad world. You can't really, that's what some of you guys say. You don't know it's connected to a past trauma. You don't know it's connected to a wound that you are suffering from. And that wound has a name, it has a shape. And today, for the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how to recognize it in yourself, how it shows up in your life, how to recognize it even in other people, because you cannot heal what you have never been able to name. This is one of the most important conversations that we'll have this year. Instead of all the YouTube lives that I've had so far, this one might just be where everything shifts for you. And I can promise you that. Stay with me all through. Stay with me till the end. Because by the end of this session, something will click for you. Okay, let's talk about what the father wound actually is, because I know that it is becoming more popular for people to talk about it, but we have to be really clear about what we are talking about. A father wound is not only about having an absent father, that's a physically absent father. It can come from a father who was physically present but emotionally unavailable. And again, in many of our African contexts, this is the reality where the emphasis is just on provision, physical provision. I provide for you, I send you to school, I provide for your needs and things like that. So it can also be a case of emotional unavailability. And when I talk about emotional unavailability, I'm talking about things like a father who was harsh, a father who was unpredictable, a father whose approval always felt just out of reach, always just felt out of reach, always felt out of reach. It might have been a father who was there, but you never really knew him. How many of you really knew your father figures, like really knew them, really saw them? And I'm not saying that our fathers are bad, no. I'm even talking about fathers who were genuinely good, but who might have left one or two specific needs unmet. That can leave a wound as well. Yes, that can leave a wound. So here's what makes this so powerful and yet so invisible at the same time. This is what happens. A wound that was formed at age 5 doesn't stay in the past. It becomes the lens age 25 or age 35 looks at life through, without you ever realizing that you are wearing the glasses of your past experience. That's why self-awareness becomes so important. So we're going to go through 5 signs, and I want you to be very honest with yourself as we go. Not to relieve the pain of what you experience, that's not the point, but to see it clearly enough to address it. Are we together? Let me see in the comments. If I do not see comments, I will not be going ahead. If I do not see your comments, I will not be going ahead. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. Now, sign number one. Sign number one. Let somebody be writing these in the chat as well. Sign number one is you struggle to trust authority, even when the authority has earned your trust. Like many of us here who have mentors, you have leaders, you have bosses, other people in authority over you, and you struggle to trust them. You struggle to form that connection. You struggle to form that bond. It's just so difficult for you to be vulnerable, for you to open up, for you to form that emotional connection. Are we together? This can show up as you resisting good leadership. So there's somebody who is become a good leader over you. It might even be your spouse, yet you just struggle to submit to that leadership. I'm not talking about bad leadership. Let me give you an example. A boss, for example, gives you sound advice, gives you sound direction, and a part of you resists, resists, bristles you before you've even evaluated whether the advice is good or not. You just feel like, why should they be controlling my life? Why should they be telling me that I should do this? Why should they be? It can be a pastor, it can be a mentor, it can be an elder, it can be, somebody giving you guidance. Yet your first internal response is suspicion, not consideration. Suspicion, your first initial response, your initial response is to suspect that why is this person, is this, and you might not even realize that those are the thoughts going through your mind. Again, my flourishers know what I'm talking about. Catching those thoughts. You might not even realize many of us have thoughts that you are not aware of. So I want you to start to pause and begin to think about the thoughts that cross your mind when somebody in authority is offering that leadership, is standing in their position of authority, is giving you that instruction, is giving you that counsel. Think about the thoughts that are actually going through your mind, what you're actually feeling. And there's a piece of insight that most people never get told, right? And it's a wisdom. It feels like wisdom, right? It feels like wisdom when we say things like, I've just learned not to trust people. In this world, we just can't, this that's no wisdom. If that's how you've been talking, that is no wisdom. You think you're very wise. In this world, you're going to have to trust people. What wisdom does is that wisdom evaluates each situation on its own evidence. That's wisdom. That's discernment. Many of us have rather just entered into a camp of everybody is bad. We have lost discernment, and discernment is wisdom, not, oh, you can't trust anybody. Everybody will disappoint you. It's your father wound speaking. It's your father wound that is speaking. Okay? And this particular pattern we're talking about, it prevents you from evaluating the situations, right? So you react the same way every time, regardless of whether the authority in front of you has actually done anything for you to not trust them. It acts the same way, irrespective whether the authority in front of you has actually done something that should warrant distrust. And this really happens. So if your father was unpredictable, if your father was harsh, if your someone was somebody whose care felt conditional, then your nervous system learns that authority is not safe. Your nervous system learns it early as a survival mechanism. That authority is not safe. Authority is not safe. That's what you've learned. That's what you've learned, and then it's showing up. It's showing up. So now, even as an adult, you're not actually assessing the leader in front of you. You're still responding to your father. You're still responding to your father. You're not assessing the person in front of you. Does this person warrant my trust? Does this potential spouse, because it also shows up in romantic relationships, does this potential spouse warrant my trust? You're still responding to what happened. So I want you to ask yourself a question. When a leader gives you good guidance, do you evaluate it? Or do you just resist it automatically and then only later admit privately that they were right? Think about it. Think about it. Are we together? Are we together? Okay, let's move on. Sign two. Sign two. This one is so common. You overfunction in relationships so that no one can leave you. Are we together? You overfunction in relationships so that no one can leave you. And I'm going to explain. Okay. For example, if your father left, whether it was physically or emotionally, remember, it's not just physically. And even though not just emotionally, many of us have the experience of a father actually leaving. A father actually leaving, like physically. So if your father left, you may have learned a devastating equation, even though you have never said it out loud. And what was that equation? That I am not enough. That if I am enough, if I do enough, if I need nothing, nobody will ever leave me again. So I need to be enough. I need to do enough. And I let me not need anything. Let me not require anything of anybody, just so that I'll prevent people from leaving. Because your brain associated the fact that that person left with you not being enough. So this shows up how? This shows up as being the one, for example, who gives endlessly, yet you struggle to receive. Are you that kind of person? You're always giving. You're the one sustaining many of your relationships. If you go quiet today in many of your relationships, you realize I don't have any relationship, but you're over functioning to maintain. You have a need, you don't voice it. You have a desire, you don't say it. You don't want to need too much. You don't want to, because you have learned as I'm explaining. This must show up as the one who anticipates everyone's needs before they have even spoken that need. You're always anticipating what other people might need, not in a healthy way, but in a way of, let me just do it before, so that I will not. Are you guys getting me? It might show up as the one who feels a flash of panic at the idea of asking for something and being told no. Because somewhere underneath, no doesn't just mean no to a request, it feels like the possibility of abandonment again. Whenever you hear no, it feels like you're being abandoned all over again. You cannot bear the idea of requesting something and somebody turns you down. And this is exhausting. It is very exhausting because it looks like generosity. On the outside, we'll look at you and say, what a generous person. What's a person who is always available, but nobody sees terror, the quiet terror underneath that you're giving, your ceaseless giving. So I need you to ask yourself a very important question. In your closest relationships, right now, can you comfortably ask for something and receive a no without it triggering something much bigger than the actual request? Think about it. Take a few seconds and think about it. In your closest relationships right now, could you comfortably ask for something and receive a no without it triggering something much bigger than the actual request? Are we together? Are we together? I need you guys to be in the comments. I need you to be in the comments, that I know that I am not speaking to myself. Okay. Are you beginning to see your patterns of behavior? Let's move on to sign number 3. You either avoid conflicts completely or you escalate it immediately. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because this was a topic of our last live session, how to not do this. If you're the kind of person that you either escalate every conflict or you just shut down and disappear. Listen, but let me show you why it matters in today's conversation. So if your father had anger, for example, that was very frightening, that was unpredictable or even explosive, many of us can relate, okay? Conflict itself may have become wired in your body as danger. You don't see conflict as just what it is, that's just simple disagreement. You begin to see that disagreement as danger. Your nervous system has learned to magnify it. So now any tension, any relationship, any tension at all sends you straight into a shutdown or into an appeasement. So you just shut down, that is a flight, or you appease, you just give in to everything that the person wants, which is fun, or straight into a defensive, disproportionate reaction of your own anger as well. The person, it's more tension, you as you have just exploded, you have just magnified everything. And this is why some people can be calm about almost everything except one specific kind of moment when maybe they are corrected and that person that seems so calm just explodes. That person, when they are, maybe when somebody disagrees with them or when somebody just challenges them, suddenly the reaction just feels bigger than the actual situation. Okay, the gap between the size of the trigger, are we together? The gap between the size of the trigger and the size of the reaction is often the clearest signal of an old wound being activated. Listen, whenever you find that the reaction that you are having, and again, this requires some self-awareness, whenever you realize the reaction that you are having is disproportionate to what is actually happening, a wound is being activated. It's not about what's happening in that moment. A past wound An old wound is being reactivated. An old wound is being reactivated. It's not about the problem in front of you. So I need you to ask yourself one question. When someone disagrees with you, when someone corrects you, does your reaction match the actual size of what's happening in that moment? Ask yourself that question. Or does it feel way larger, way larger than what's actually happening? You get corrected and it's like the person has just insulted you. Like the person has, I don't know. It's like the person has just insulted your whole family. Whereas it's a simple correction. You should have done it like this. What if you consider doing it like this? It's an old wound being reactivated. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. Let me see the comment section that we are together. Oh, I'm not going to move forward. Oh, I'm not going to move forward. I'm not going to move forward. Anyways, let's go for a short water break and we'll be right back in a few seconds or minutes.
Hi, my name is V and I'm a flourisher. It's been 2 months of being a flourisher and it's been nothing short of amazing. I just want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Daniela and the team for making this possible. Being a flourisher, one of the things I've learned is to give myself grace. And the peace that comes with it is unexplained. I cannot explain the peace that comes with it because I realize that most of the times I easily give grace to others than to myself. But the Flourish Code changed that notion. Another thing that I learned with the Flourish Code, having a deep why for doing certain things. I remember in June we're giving like tips on how to carry out a productive day. Things because I believe that to be the woman I was working towards being, or I'm working towards being, I need to do those things. And it was really difficult. Sometimes I just show up because I'm doing it for the woman I want to be and all of that put together. But on experiencing the Flourish Code, I learned that I learned more about the thing. I had like more about it. I had a broad understanding of what it's talking about, of what those tasks are all about, and it gave me a deep wise statement that is connected to it's personalized to the woman I want to be, and that has helped me because I show up for those tasks regularly without having to force myself or anything, and I'm super grateful.
Hi guys, welcome to the Flourish Era. My name is Rose. Just a few words on to say how amazing the Flourish Code has been to me. This family journey at first you see motivational something or just another motivational speaker kind of journey. The Flourish Code is far beyond just a motivation. It's a journey, it's an experiment, it's a discovery, it's a transformation. Before I entered the Flourish Code, I was so depressed, filled with anxiety and fear. I could barely speak. I was so shy, but the full that I've learned this far, I'm able to speak up, I'm able to really speak up for myself. I'm able to face my fears, maybe not all, because it's really a journey, it's a process. But this far, I'm able to align with myself, with my visions, know myself, know my identity, understand myself, my mind, the psychological aspect of myself. I'm able to understand better how I think, how my actions are. So I'm so blessed and I consider it a great opportunity to be part of the Flourish Code 2026. And I'm already waiting for the 2027 code. And I really am grateful to Dr. Daniela for this initiative and her entire team. I know a lot is still to come. The journey is not easy, honestly. The process It's not easy, but we're trusting the process and we believe that more transformation is yet to come. I love the person I'm becoming, and yes, I know by the end of this journey, I'll flourish even more.
It has not been easy peasy. Well, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned that I have to get comfortable with certain boundaries and actually respecting them. Like, I can set my boundary. It gets so discomforting that how am I sure this is right? Like, maybe this person will not be happy and things. But then I just go like, no, this person doesn't have to be happy. This is just what works for me at this moment. This is what serves me at the moment. And also building on my identity in Christ. Currently, I'm going through a very challenging transitional phase or transitional season of my spiritual life, trying to grow in depth with my relationship with God, but so many challenges, so many things to deal with. So I'm not really focused, or I'm not really like grounded into that system yet. I've not built that structure system yet, but I'm believing by the end of this course, I'll definitely achieve that. And so many have in store for me. This course, so and to become
All right. We are back. I hope you enjoyed our water break. I hope you enjoyed our water break. Let me see you in the comments. I don't know if the points that we have been raising have been resonating with you. I need you to let me know. Let me know if it has, because we still have some more to cover. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, now. Okay, sign number 4. This one. This one. Nobody should come for me. I'm the Lord's messenger. I'm just saying things as they are. Okay. Nobody nobody should come for me. Sign number 4 is this. You chase approval from people who remind you of your father. Mm, I said it. I s- you chase approval from people who remind you of your father, and this is one of the most common and least recognized patterns. You notice it in the specific bosses, in the specific mentors, in the specific older figures whose approval so important to you, so important to you, far more than their actual role in your life would explain. Okay, often without realizing it, we unconsciously seek out relationships that reflect the original dynamic of the relationship with our father. That's the reality. When it comes to our relationship with authority figures in our lives, we often seek out relationships that will reflect the father-child dynamic that we had. That's why you see somebody you maybe had a particular father, and they end up saying that I cannot marry somebody that was like my father, and then you still end up marrying people that are like your father. That's what happens, and the cycle continues. No matter how much you say, "Ah, no, I cannot marry someone like my this, I cannot," you will still end up, because we unconsciously seek out that same relationship. We unconsciously seek to replicate that same dynamic because it's what we know and it's what is familiar. Okay, so what did I say? That we unconsciously seek out this kind of dynamic in our lives, hoping that if we just perform well enough, that this time with this new person, with this new figure in our lives, we're hoping unconsciously that if we perform well enough this time, no, if we achieve enough with this person, if we prove ourselves enough, we'll finally get approval. We'll finally get the approval that didn't come with our fathers. We'll finally get the approval that didn't come with our father figures. Does this sound familiar? Is this ringing a bell? Is this ringing a bell for somebody? You're hoping that if you perform well enough this time, if you just achieve well enough in your relationship with this person, if you just prove yourself, you might finally get that approval that you've been hoping and seeking for. This is the source of many people's approval addiction. You did not get the approval the first time, or if you got the approval, it was very conditional. It was conditional, and you're replaying that dynamic. And when that person's approval doesn't come, if it doesn't come right, it can trigger a hurt. It can trigger a hurt. I don't even know you're feeling so bad. It might be with a teacher in school. You're now taking that particular teacher and you're reliving the father-child dynamic with that teacher. You just want that teacher to approve of you. You just want that teacher to approve of you. And if they approve of you, you're happy. If they don't approve of you, you just feel like, what's happening? It feels like there's a hurt that you don't understand where it's coming from. Because it's not really about them. It's about someone from your past long, long ago. Long, long ago. So I need you to ask yourself when it comes to this particular point. I need you to ask yourself this question. Is there someone in my life right now? Is there someone in my life right now whose approval I am chasing with an intensity that, if you're being honest, doesn't match the relationship that you have with them? You're chasing their approval with an intensity that doesn't match the actual relationship that you have with them. This person is just your teacher, for example. This person is just your, I don't know, whatever, your boss. But the approval that you are seeking from them is so much more than what the relationship warrants. Are we together? If we are together, let me know. If we are together, let me know. Okay? Okay, let me see you in the comment section. If I don't see the comments, if I do not see the comments blowing up, I will not be proceeding. Okay. Are we together? All right. Sign number 5. And this one is so common. This one is so common as well. You struggle to receive correction without hearing it as rejection. And listen, if you're also a person in authority, I hope that this information is beginning to help you see how you deal with the people under your authority. Maybe you're a boss somewhere, maybe you're a leader in any capacity, you're a mentor. If you're unaware of these dynamics, you keep struggling with those mentees, those people that are following you, and you don't understand, why is this person behaving like this? Why is this person behaving like this? If you don't understand the forces at play, you don't understand why you keep struggling in that your authority or leadership role. So sign number 5 is that you struggle to receive correction without hearing it as rejection. And this one can be very subtle. Okay, and it's often the last one that people recognize in themselves. So if a father's love or a father's approval felt conditional on maybe your performance, correction as a child may have felt it might have been difficult to distinguish their correction from their rejection. So they say things like, you did wrong, and it lands in your heart, in your mind, in your body as, you are wrong. You are not loved right now. The person might be saying, I'm just repeating it. The person might be saying you did wrong, but what you are receiving is that you are wrong. You are not loved right now. So as an adult, this shows up as defensiveness. Even when the feedback that somebody gives you, the criticism, even when it's as gentle as possible, you still enter into this defensive mode, right? For example, your spouse can mention something small. Oh, you should have done this, you did this, I don't really like it. And it lands on you like an attack, and this person is attacking you. A mentor can offer some correction, and instead of hearing the specific advice that they are giving you, the specific feedback, you are hearing a verdict. You're hearing a verdict on your entire worth. It's coming as an attack on your worth, on who you are, on what you represent. So this makes growth to be very difficult, painfully difficult. Not because you are incapable of growing. And it can be a hindrance on your growth journey, right? Especially the flourishers, hear me well. Flourishers, hear me well. On this your transformation journey, you have to deal with this. Even though you don't understand why you're struggling to grow, why you're struggling, because any feedback, you're struggling to receive it. Every piece of feedback has to fight an old alarm system before it can actually be received in your heart, in your mind, in your nervous system as useful information. So ask yourself this question. When someone corrects you gently, do you hear the specific feedback, or do you hear, I am not good enough? Let me say that again. When someone corrects you gently, Do you hear the specific feedback, or do you hear, I am not good enough? I am not good enough. I am not good enough. Because that's what many of us hear. You're not hearing what the person is saying. It's an attack. It just comes like an attack because a wound is being reactivated. Okay. And I want you to sit with something, okay? I've given you 5 signs and I want you to really sit with them. Listen, these are YouTube lives. There are many of you that have to come and watch it again and again. It's not one time. You have to come back like that. After we have talked like this, you come back again and you sit and I actually watch it well. Because if you recognize yourself in maybe 2, 3, maybe even all 5 signs, that does not mean that something is broken with you. It means that, for example, a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 16-year-old inside you learned to survive. You learned to survive a real and painful situation using the tools that were available to you at that age. And those tools worked. They kept you safe. They kept you loved enough. They kept the peace inside that specific home or inside that specific classroom or whatever, wherever the wound was created at that specific time. But you're not there anymore. And I keep repeating this throughout all our live sessions because it's so important. On our healing journey, we have to understand that we have to be forward looking. You go to the past, you understand what happened, but you have to understand that you're not there anymore. You're not that child anymore who was helpless, who was defenseless. You're not there anymore. Everybody isn't that person again. You're not in that home anymore. Or even if you are physically living in that home, you're not in the same vulnerable state that you were in as when you were a child. You're not in that household anymore. And a survival strategy that once protected a child can now be the very thing, and it often is the very thing sabotaging the adult relationships that you're trying to build. Many of us are struggling with relationships, even friendships, with authority figures, to just have simple relationships with authority figures because of this particular thing. Forming bonds, attachment then becomes a difficulty. It might even show up in your leadership that you're trying to receive. God has sent somebody into your life to be your leader, and you're struggling to receive the leadership. You're struggling to submit. Many of us have the word, even though the word submission is triggering some of you. It's triggering. You're hearing like that, it's making somehow in your body. Because it's attacking, it's triggering a wound somewhere. Okay? So it might be affecting the leadership that you're trying to receive. It might be affecting the love that you're trying to let in. It might be affecting the correction that you actually need to grow. And that's why I named, if you see the thumbnail of this video, I don't know if you guys can see that the flare that we use and the thumbnail that we use on this video, because it's how your relationships actually get sabotaged. Your relationships are not ruined by one dramatic event. It's running through an old wound that is still running quietly in the background, showing up every day in the decisions that you make in that relationship and how you show up that relationship. I'm not saying this as somebody who is so perfect, I myself am on a journey. I myself am learning and I'm trying to act and I'm trying to heal. So don't feel like I'm detached from your experience. In fact, I'm speaking about it because I know what I'm speaking about and I can relate. Okay, so that if you don't address the wound, it will keep showing up in the background of your life, affecting your relationships, affecting your everyday life, affecting your attachment and your connection with people. But there's some good news. I needed to really hear the good news. What was learned in survival can be relearned in safety. What was learned in survival can be relearned in safety, okay? So it's not permanence. This is not your identity. This is not your identity. If any of these signs are showing up for you, one thing that's really important for you to understand is that it can change. Many of us are stuck in old patterns because a part of one of our beliefs is that things won't ever change, that is just how things are. That's a very limiting belief. A very limiting belief. These signs are not your identity. They can change. Things can change. Things can change. Things can change. And how do things change? And that is the work that we do in the Flourish Code, right? Naming the wound, as I mentioned, that you find out what the Flourish Code is about. Naming the wound, understanding where it came from, and actually building a new pattern, a new habit, a new instinct in the place of that wound. That's literally what we do in the Flourish Code. And if you're a flourisher, let us know that you are a flourisher in the comment section. As usual, flourishers, help me testify in the comment section. Help me testify in the chat so that our newbies will know that this is not hype. It's not just talk. I'm not just talking. I'm not just talking, okay? The Flourish Code is a 1-year mentorship. We are currently on the first cohort. We're entering the 3rd month of the 6-month program because it initially started as a 6-month program. But 2027 is a year. And we always start identity for a particular reason. You cannot build trust, you cannot build connection, you cannot build healthy relationship on top of an unhealed wound. A wound that you have never been able to name. So naming it today in this video, in this live session, is the first step. But naming it alone doesn't solve the problem. Because change happens with what? Structure. Change happens with tools. Change happens with a system. Change happens, just as you heard in the testimonials that we have shared, okay? Being in a system, in a community, with people around you that are doing the same work. So you're not carrying it alone. So even if one of these signs felt uncomfortably familiar, you need to receive that discomfort as information. That discomfort that you're feeling. That aha, that whatever, oh, that's me. Oh, some of you are not even admitting it yet. I've named some signs. Some of you are still resisting that. No, that one is not me. I just do that because that is part of the problem. That is part of the problem. You're uncomfortable with what I've said. Accept the discomfort. Accept the discomfort and take it as data. As to you needing to do something about your life. About that wound. Okay. So if you want to reach out and join, feel free. There's a running banner underneath this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. So before we end this live session, okay, of the 5 signs that we covered today, tell me, which one hit closest to home for you? Tell me in the comment section. Which one hit closest to home for you? Which one hit closest to home for you? Okay. Take your time and think through. Okay? So don't be defensive, because that's again part of the problem, right? I'm saying these things and you're just being defensive. Why is she saying that one? No, it's not, that one is not true. No, we just act like that because of no, da 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 da. And in the comments, tell me which one hit home. Which one hits home? And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions. Even if I have not replied to them right now, I might reply to them later on. I'm replying your comments, okay? So let's do this. Which one hit home for you? Maybe I should just go over the signs one more time. Sign number 1 is that you struggle to trust authority, even when the authority has earned the right to have your trust. Even when they have not shown you any reason to distrust them. That's sign number 1. Sign number 2, so guys, you just use the numbers. So I can say 1 sign, 2 sign, 3. Maybe not writing everything if you don't want to write everything. Okay, sign number 2 is that you overfunction in relationships so that no one can leave you. You overfunction in relationships so that no one can leave you. Sign number 3 is you either avoid conflict completely or you escalate the conflict immediately. That's sign number 3. So are you 1? Are you 2? Are you multiple? Sign number 4. You chase approval from people who remind you of your father. You chase approval from people who remind you of your father. Sign number 5. You struggle to receive correction without hearing it as rejection. So which ones can you relate to the most? Alrighty, thank you so much for being with me. I don't take your time for granted. And this is where we flourish.
Meet Dr. Mrs. Daniela Kenta, a medical doctor, founder of Secure Mentorship, mental health coach with over 5 years of experience. Let's walk you through and show some of the amazing reads authored by Dr. Daniela herself. Do you want to discover how purpose discovery is a powerful tool in your confidence and self-esteem journey? Then you should read No Clarity, No Confidence. Are you looking forward to a mindset reform that addresses African context-based mental health issues and still provides scripturally rooted and psychological facts? Diary of a Secure Girl is your go-to guide. Have your identity been wounded by systems and structures, some of which you can't name, and you need healing? Healing from your identity wound is perfect for you. Looking forward to a piece of godly romance and a guide to help you prepare for marriage? Letters to Heaven is your go-to guide. Thank you and see you later.